Hey, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Depends on where you're connecting this live stream. My name is Paul Rizanov. I'm a project coordinator of e-commerce camp Go UK, and I have a new guest for you today. Ayal from particle4men.com. It's a, I'm gonna say, amazing men's brand, and our lovely clients for how many years now? Probably three years, if not more.
Lost a client of yours? Much longer.
Much
Five,
longer.
five and a half
Five.
years. Five and a
Yeah.
half years.
So on this talk, we're gonna probably look back in time and speak with Ayal about how he built the business, and now it's 100 million business, right, in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Ayal, welcome to our live talk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Man, it's really rare when we talk to you like this, and so this will be conversation more like in the bar. So for everyone who'll be watching this for the first time, could you go ahead and give a little bit more context of like what's the particle for man in general, and then how did you start?
Sure. So first of all, we go by Particle, not necessarily Particle for Men, even though we're for men, but our brand is Particle. But we started the company, Guy Falkovich, my co-founder, and myself, 6 years ago. We both of us we come from a long background in ad tech and online marketing. We had a bunch of ventures in the space over the years. We started back in 2008, um, and we started off with this self-serve design platform before there was AI, before there were big marketplaces. It was kind of a platform for small businesses to get banner ad designs, landing pages designs, websites, WordPress sites, so forth, within 24 to 48 hours. It's a platform you put in your brief like you would on Upwork. It connects you immediately with a bunch of designers who work in various countries around the world, and within 48 hours you get a design, you have revisions, you put it online, and so forth. That was our first business. And then over the years we rolled into ad tech and DSPs, which were display ads back in the day for small businesses. um, and then one day when we evolved into some kind of type of platform where we were generating leads for consumer and financial companies, we had a client that came with a requirement to generate traffic and interest for Botox and filler campaigns for the face. And it was a campaign for women. And we did the whole campaign and we put in female models and female content. And we launched the campaign. And then we saw, oh my God, about 20% of whoever's leaving the information are men, even though we're talking to women. And then we realized, okay, there's an untapped market. Men need a solution and they don't have one. They want to look good, they want to take care of themselves, they want to look young, but there's no brand that's really talking to them. And that coincided with the fact that we both turned 40 at the time. We were also kind of, okay, time to take care of our skin, time to, worry about those eye bags and wrinkles. We went to the drugstore. We're looking around, and we spoke to the person at the store. They didn't really know how to help us. We had no idea what the hell hyaluronic acid means, or collagen, or retinol. We're too simple for that. So, coupled with that opportunity, we realized, okay, we really should create a solution, a brand that talks to men. We realized there's this blue ocean where the women's space is completely, packed with tens of thousands of brands. No one's talking to men. If I ask you now, name three brands in the beauty space, in the cosmetic space, skincare space that are for women. Easy, right? Nivea, L'Oreal, whatever. If I ask you to name a couple of skincare brands for men, like what? Nothing. I think maybe Gillette, but that's shaving, right? So we said, okay, there's an opportunity here, and we launched it 6 years ago, bootstrapped completely, just two of us with two laptops. We found the best formulator we could find, the best chemist, created this product. The first product was the face cream. launched in June 2019, and now we have about 20 SKUs. Like you mentioned, we're at about $100 million in revenue, profitable from day one. We didn't raise a single dime, and we're continuing to grow. And we've conquered the U.S. market. We're also in the U.K. market. Um, Huge number of repeat customers. We have 1 million men using our products. And that's just the overview, but I'm happy to go into details of whatever you want to know.
What I like about this is like every single live talk that we have here, and guys, if you want to watch the previous episode, you can always do it on e-commerce camp UK. There is always aha moment. So for you, this aha moment was the launch of this campaign for your clients eventually, right? So that's great. But I'm kind of, and I'm dealing with a lot of e-commerce websites, and there's tons of people who want to dive into the beauty brands. I can only cite, just like recently I had the conversation with like activedrip.com guys, they just trying to get into the space. And there's like tons of different products, people trying to white label all type of stuff, but they still struggle on the very specific level. They just don't want to, they just don't know how to get into the critical mass of getting the first customers, right? It's always like hustle, etc. And in landscape, it's more competitive nowadays. Do
Right.
you, for our customers, if you remember the first step, how did you grow from like 0 to 50K, like 50K to, I don't know, 100K? What was the most challenging, and what do you believe helped you to 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 kind of to go and upscale it?
Sure. So first of all, it's really goddamn hard. Okay. And it's only much harder today to build a beauty brand from scratch today in this super crowded space. It's really, really, really hard. Not impossible, of course not, but it's harder than it's ever been because of media costs and because of competition and because of being such a crowded market and because almost everything you try to think of that's unique is already out there. But go back 6 years ago, yeah, when we launched, it was a huge headache. We don't know how to talk to men. We didn't know what's the right messaging. We didn't know what kind of ads we should use. Our Facebook account, our Meta account, was being dropped all the time by Meta for policy issues and for whatever. That was, a period, especially in beauty and skincare. It's kind of a space where Meta tries to be extremely careful. So if you're a newcomer, they'll just remove you from the platform. So then it's you have to keep contacting Meta and trying to reinstating your account for 6 months. That's all we did. Um, but look, there's no magic and there's no secret and there's no formula, but we're relatively unique because we're talking to men and because there isn't a competition. So we needed to fine tune our messaging all the time. And you'll notice that the way we speak to men is we talk about our products being engineered for men. And we highlight the main products, but we don't go into deep to the details because that's not what it interests men. We don't say designed for men; it's engineered for men. We talk in a very practical, non-fluffy manner, and it's not something that we realized in day one. It's something that we tested and tested and retested. So from the beginning, it's all about testing and A/B testing. And I think one of the most important things when you have a vision or launch something is also understand and realize that you know nothing. Whatever we think we know is probably incorrect. And we have to put our egos on the side and our predetermined, ideas and thoughts of what should work, what shouldn't work, and all these concepts that we've built for years doesn't work. The ugliest ads sometimes work the best. The ads that are not polished and there may be even a bug in the way it's edited can work better because it looks more authentic. The messaging that you think is the right way to speak is completely, throw to the garbage. We know nothing, and once we accept that, then you're already on the path to success because you need to let the data speak, right? Um, and sometimes when you're in a room and you're having conversation of brainstorming and what you want to do. So I think there's this saying. Um, how does it go? Anyway, don't remember. But the data is king, right? Where it says, if all we have are opinions, if there's data, let's go with the data. But if all we have are opinions, let's go with mine. But the data is king. So that's how I have to build it from scratch. And that's how we still do it today. We have our learnings and we have our experience and we know what works, what doesn't work, more or less. But every new product is like a completely new market. So, we'll throw a bunch of ads. We have no idea what's going to work. And 90% of the time, no one would imagine that's what's going to work. So that's what I can say about, starting a new company in the beauty space. Throw away your original conceptions and just let the market take you to where it should go. The messaging, the creative, the type of products, what you think people are looking for in the product is not necessarily what they're actually looking for. The benefits that we're highlighting, we highlight some of the key benefits, which are eye bags, dark spots, wrinkles in men. It's not necessarily something that we knew or we thought would be the most important. Now it's obvious. But when you think of a new product, it's not necessarily the thing that stands out. Um, and we did it very slowly. We were bootstrapped. We needed to, we needed to buy inventory. We needed to buy media, and very gradually, from the goods that we sold and the profits, we purchased additional inventory. So we always have to maintain this profitability. We never ever launch a campaign or a new product that's losing money. Some brands, some DDC brands raised back in the day millions of dollars, and they were all about acquisition. I will lose money now. I'll lose 10, 50, $100 on the first acquisition. And because of the LTV and the customers will return because it's subscription or because we have a great product, then we'll make up ground on whatever we put in. That was never our philosophy, especially in the beginning when you're a small business and you don't want to bleed. Always maintain your profitability, even if it means kind of preventing extreme growth, because you want to have a healthy business. And it's easy to lose money with media. It's easy, and to put this dream of, I'll make my money back in 8 months when they return. So always maintain profitability, and that's the way we do it till today. If there's a product that's losing money, we kill it.
That sounds really actionable advice. Stay profitable from day one. That's good stuff. You're
And
right.
now it's much more. Nowadays, it's much more obvious because there's the money in the market is dried up. But back in the day, companies were raising millions, tens of millions of dollars, and losing a ton of money. Again, till today, we haven't raised a single dollar, and that's why we still like being in control. We don't have external, board members, and you have to be every single day. Not even in the beginning, it's every single hour, right? Looking how much you're spending, how much money is coming in, how many products you're selling, how many repeat customers you have. In the end of the day, it's all about repeat customers, right? If the product is not good, if consumers are not happy, no matter how much you're doing in acquiring customers, even profitably, you want them to come back. So the underlying business has to be great. If you don't have a 30, 40, 50% repeat rate, you're out of business because you can't scale up. So it's all about the lifetime value of the customer. But if you do have to sacrifice your profitability from day one, sacrifice 1 month, 2 months. Otherwise, it's too risky. And if you're the company that's trying to raise money, VCs know this. They want healthy, strong, profitable businesses. And the ones that weren't and raised a ton of money, they're gone. We don't hear from them anymore. Back in the day, we were nothing. We were tiny. We were jealous of all these brands that were spending tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars a day in media, and we were a bit jealous. Many of them don't exist anymore.
In terms of marketing campaigns, you guys run it by yourself, or you've got an
Everything in house,
agency? Everything
all
is
in house.
house. Okay,
So we do all
got
the digital. We started with an agency
it.
originally, but it's such a core part of your business, right? For a DDC
Hmm.
online brand,
Hmm.
if you don't know how to do media, forget it. It's just like no one else is going to do it as well as you do it. No one else cares about your budget as much as you do. So if you don't know how to buy media, create ads, test ads, do A/B testing, do manage your CRO, conversion rate optimization, landing pages, product pages, email marketing, sign up forms, the whole process from A to Z, you won't succeed. Especially because the margins are so thin in our industry, because we want to scale up and the media is so expensive and becoming more expensive. If you're like, if you drop from a 10% margin to a 4% margin, that's it. You're out of business. So every single percentage point, decimal percentage point, is critical here. And the only way to do it properly is if you know how to do it in-house with your own team and manage every single dollar as if it's coming from your own pocket, which it is. Um,
If I will
we
be starting my own
just
beauty
just
brand,
was that
go.
just a caveat? We do have an agency who manages our TV, because we spend a ton of money on linear TV, between 100 and $200,000 a day, only on TV, on ESPN, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and so forth. And that's old school. You need to talk to the people at ESPN and send emails and faxes and whatever. It's like super old school. So that's something we can do in house. We manage the agency from in house, but for linear TV, which again works great for us, you have to have someone that knows what they're doing and has been doing it for 30 years before the internet existed.
That's I think you have a great benefits of you being a guy who managing the advertisement for someone else. So you've got a great expertise with that. That's the why it was successful for you. If I would be starting my own beauty brand right now in a different, like, does not really matter, not needs to be for man, but in general, right? What would you recommend me to take as a number one channel, number two, number three? Where to put my money?
It's still Meta. It's still number one, right? I mean, it's still the
Not
biggest.
not not even TikTok.
Not for us,
Not
where we
for you.
target
Okay.
men. We
Okay.
target older men.
Mhm.
Um, we do have a couple more brands that we're working on right now,
Mhm.
but which targets a younger audience.
Mhm.
And from my conversations with all the DDC brands who all work in the space, 99% of them is Meta.
Meta.
TikTok works, starting to work. TikTok shops works a bit, still on a fractional scale compared to Meta.
Meta.
Meta is still number one. It's the easiest to get into.
Mhm.
It's online. TV is hard. Only do it much later when you're bigger. A lot of a huge learning curve. You're gonna burn a lot of money till you know what you're doing there. It's a different beast. It took us almost a year to crack it, 6 months to a year to really crack it. Meta is still number one. It's the most scalable. It's the easiest to understand. There's the most material out there, and it's designed for DDC performance marketers like us.
Mhm.
We spend on Google, we spend on TV, we do some native like Taboola and Outbrain, we do AppLovin, we do Live Intent, we do TikTok. We try everything.
Have you
We're
tried
we're
influencers?
we've tried influencers.
Did it? Because it's like seems like a big industry now. Everyone telling me affiliate influencers.
It's
Like,
big. Again, it's not as big as Meta. It's big, it's cute, it's
okay.
nice. It's much harder to scale. There's a lot of work. It's manual work, trying to find the right person, talking to the right person, compensating the right person, tracking, which is super hard. It works great for very specific brands, I think, especially if you're targeting young girls. It's
Mhm.
perfect. And there's a few brands that do it amazingly, where that's the vast majority of their spend. For example, a brand called Addicted. Um, but for us, it's not the main thing, and for most brands, it's not the main thing. It's a great additional thing to have, but it's not the best place to start at. If you don't crack Meta from start and you said, okay, now it's not working for me, let me try something else, that's it. I mean, forget it. Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. Okay, I love it. Like, well, I mean, I guess that's what I need to hear. If I want to go for the beauty stuff, I will go for Meta first. If you
Yeah,
cannot
if you
manage this
can't
on
crack
Meta,
Meta with beauty,
then just
but not even beauty, I mean, other stuff as well. Not everything. It could be fashion, it could be health, beauty, all the evergreen stuff, finance.
mhm,
Um, this is a longer term play, influencers and
yeah,
content, and you need higher budgets, and it's harder to scale. It's not automatic. A lot of disadvantages, a lot of advantages too.
hmm,
Uh, Um, for us, less.
gotcha. Do you Are you able to share like a tech stack of the tools that you're using at this stage with your brand, like things like whenever Klaviyo, etc. Just out of
Yeah,
curiosity, like
the usual stuff, man. I mean, look, one of the biggest mistakes we made originally was not doing Shopify because we knew WordPress WooCommerce. So we built our with you guys, we built our website on WordPress WooCommerce, but it's not even WordPress anymore or WooCommerce. It's such a customized website. We have developers where we are. We have with you guys, and we have developers in house. We have you guys who are helping us. It's such a custom website. It's not even WordPress anymore. It's just like a complete custom website, which has advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantages that everything I want to do, I need to call our devs and we need to create something new, and it's not streamlined. The advantage is I can do whatever I want. I can create every little button. I can monitor every little thing. This is the one of the most customized, advanced websites on the CRO level, on the funnels, where we manage every single thing from pre-purchase to post-purchase to rewards to the my account to the upsells. Shopify doesn't have the level of features that we have, so it's not great for beginners. Do Shopify. Obviously, we have Klaviyo, which is a huge tool for us, CRM and email marketing, and all the usual suspects. We use Hotjar for tracking. We use VWO for A/B testing. We use this super cool advanced AI platform for creative analysis called Edge.ai, um, and a million other usual suspect tools that everyone else uses. Um, but we're super fast. We're super aggressive. We learn every single AI tool out there. You know, half of our creative team uses AI. Not half. All the creative team uses AI on a regular basis, and we every single tool that comes out we try. We're all about trying new stuff and implementing them in our system. We use Rich Panel for our customer support, um, and a lot of in-house stuff that none of the platforms can provide. Um, with all the data analysis and tools and LTV analysis, which no one knows better than we do about our own company. I'll also say something controversial here about attribution. In our world, attribution is one of the most important things. When your brand spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day on media, whether it's TV or native and mobile and display and affiliate and newspapers. We do billboards now in the U.S. How the hell do you know what created the attribution, right? What created the sale? So, bottom line is there's no secret, there's no formula, there's no way to really know. No one really knows. So, it's a combination of tracking tools, um, and the platforms themselves, external tracking tools, and good old intuition. You know, you need to know your business so well from the beginning. If you're running media on a regular basis, then suddenly you add another layer of media. You kind of need to understand. Okay, it's telling you it has a great ROAS, lower CPA, but you're kind of skeptical because it's taking a lot of attribution from other platforms, and you should be skeptical because it's incorrect. Everything is overstated. So you need to create your own intuition of how much is it overstating it. And we've used third-party attribution tools, three very big ones. It's not better than our intuition. This will say something, the other tool will say something else. it's almost impossible to know where the actual person, where's the first touch point, where's the second. So in theory, they track it, and in theory, they give each one their own weight, and in theory, they know based on geolifts, but it's so complicated and it's so unpredictable, and there's so many broken steps before the actual person makes the purchase, and he saw you on so many different points that no one knows. So that's not science. It's a combination of platforms, tools like a bit of GA4, a bit of data that we built, and a bit of intuition. Sucks, but that's the way it is.
I want to talk about one moment in your business growth, I would say, which we as an agency were a little bit impacted. So you guys been to the Times Square on the advertisement on Times Square. That's
Yeah,
probably the moment that everyone will be proud when your ads are running on Times Square and on American TV and stuff like that. And I remember you've done this creative and media. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a morning show when like they were debating there about the contextual of your the advertisement. There was like some people who
yeah,
were pissed off. I will be transparent with you. On our Mage Cloud agency, we had Particle for Men as a case study. Remember that we've done with you. And when your advertisement went live, there's tons of people on my live chat just like messaging me like, "Hey, what's this like?" And just like giving the feedback about the campaigns. Even sometimes feministic, comments. I asked
yeah,
Sergey, like, "Man, where's that coming from?" And I had to no index, no follow our page, specific this page, not to not to be ranked for particle for men, man, crazy, because they like the people were chatting with me like about like, "Hey, what's the status of my order?" I was like, gosh, like, and I'm kind of messaging them to our chat about
yeah,
that. So, but I think this advertisement, the creativity and the noise, or I don't know if it's right word to say noise, but like a lot of like movements around creativity in your TV became the foundation of probably the huge growth of the business. Like people were talking and impressed. How do you get the creativity in place? You said you're using AI, but is there any like silver bullet about like getting the creative out? I know you said testing, but like this TV
yeah.
advertisement was exceptional. Tell
True,
me more about that.
true. So first of all, testing online is easy. Testing on TV is hard. Every single spot, can cost you $5,000, $10,000. You're not going to start testing 10 different ads. Production. It's not a UGC type of production for Meta, which costs you a few $100. It costs you tens of thousands of dollars to produce an ad. So that's a different conversation. Now, the billboard that we had in Times Square, that's more for like vanity and for social media. It's cool. Does it move the needle? Not really. It's nice for branding and everything.
Mhm.
Um, but look, AI, ChatGPT, all these tools, they're great for iterations, giving you, multiple ideas for analysis, for creating hooks, but it's not going to do something revolutionary. It's not going to come up with, oh my God, this is a genius ad. This is so creative. I can't stop thinking about it. AI is not there yet. Maybe it will be. I don't know, but it hasn't been there yet. Um, And as you know, the market is so saturated, and there's so many ads on TV, and there's so many ads online. Sometimes you need to be a bit controversial to move the needle, right? Look at American Eagle and what's her name, Sweeney, right? I mean, it's controversial and whatever. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Who cares? Everybody's talking about it. And yeah, we have our products, and we're targeting men, and they're men over 40, and we can allow ourselves to be slightly more controversial. And yeah, we have this ad, the Gravite ad, which is the cologne, and it's been running for a year on TV, and it became and this ad is so successful that it put Gravite the most searched for cologne on Google in 2024. Why? Because of that ad. And yes, it's a bit chauvinistic, but not that much, just slightly. And it creates something. It does something in the people's body, and the vast majority of people like it. Some people don't like it. It's okay. And actually, it's a good thing. If everybody likes your ad, then you're doing something wrong. You need to piss off some people to move the needle, and it's okay. And I guess it's a luxury of being an independent brand, and we're not, Unilever or whatever that needs to satisfy every single person in the world. We can do whatever we want, and to move the needle, you need to generate. You need to create emotion. And how do you create emotion? By being nice and fluffy and soft and just talking, gently to everyone. No, you need to shock the system a bit. Um, but the creative, in the end of the day, this side comes from our team. We have brainstorming sessions with our head of retention, our head of growth, our head of our studio. We have external copywriters who've written beautiful scripts for top ads and TV shows. So it's a combination of brainstorming over many months to fine tune the creative, especially if it's for TV. We have a billboard campaign right now in the US, which we're testing. Super hard to measure. But a billboard, you're driving by the billboard, you see the sign, you don't have time to go in and type in the URL. You're not going to remember what the URL is later. So you have 5 seconds, 10 seconds where you're driving to see the static ad and leave an impact. So what are we going to say? Particle aesthetic science for men, use our face cream? Boring. Doesn't matter. No one's going to remember that. It needs to be something emotional, something like, what the hell are these guys up to? I need to check them out. What is that ad? So I won't expose it here. You can go check out, look for Particle Billboard, or look at our Instagram social media account. You'll see it there. But you need to create that intent of after you saw the ad, or maybe later when you go home, you'll see it out on TV or on Meta, on Facebook, or on Instagram. So, I remember those guys on the road when I drove to work today. So the market is changing, right? Back in the day, you could throw whatever you wanted there on Meta, and and there were all these formulas and this and that, but it's so saturated, and everybody's doing pretty much the same thing on Meta specifically. People talking about the product, people trying the product, unboxing, standing from the mirror, ASMR. Everything has been done before. That's it. There's nothing to innovate, especially on Meta. It's saturated. So just throw stuff. Something will stick. Even if it doesn't stick, it's okay. Do the next thing. But do it semi-wisely. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the whole concept was just massive amounts of creative. Let the machine do its thing. Now we do put a bit of more thought to it, because again, everything's been done before. So now we're going. It's like going backwards. Okay, we are putting more thought and slightly more brand into advertising. So that's what I'm saying. Whatever I say, whatever someone else says, there's no formula. Something will work for you, something will work for me. There's no secret sauce. There's no methodology that, okay, this works for everyone. You have to figure out for your own brand who your audience is, what type of product you have, what's their age, what's their gender, what's their geolocation. And every brand we launch or every new product we launch, it's like trying to figure it out from scratch. And that's the beauty too. So being agile, being fast, and being egoless on that sense, on the creative side.
That's the key. I want to cover one more topic in this case. In our talk, you started with your co-founder. You started VC firm, which is Fairlast Capital, right?
Fearless, right?
And yeah, so it's how, like, what was the reason to start and what this all about? What was the idea? Tell me more about that.
So we know the consumer space really, really well, from online to offline to TV. It's what we've been doing for 6 years. There are not a lot of teams in the world, I think, that do as a good job as my team does in terms of retention, in terms of media and growth, and creative, and customer support, and everything. Right? There's all these different branches. in starting a DTC brand. So we figured, we want to invest our money somewhere. And I don't know anything about real estate. I don't like real estate. Um, I don't know anything about cyber or software and deep tech stuff, but I do know consumer. So Guy and myself, we've been doing this for so many years, and this is what we're good at. This is what we know. So might as well take our resources and reinvest them in other founders who want to start a consumer brand and whatever. It could be fashion, it could be health, it could be jewelry, it could be shoes, it could be doors. I don't know, but consumer B2C, and not everyone know media, and you need to learn, you need to experience it, and and it takes time, and you need to be a killer in that space. So our concept for Fearless Capital is that we put in capital for equity, which goes into the company, but a very large portion of that equity, of that funding, goes to growth, right? To media. Could be Meta, could be Google, could be influencers, TikTok, could be TV, and that's our expertise. So yes, it's as if we're an agency, but we're not really an agency because it's our funding. It's our skin in the game. We're owners. We're part owners of the brand, so we're deeply invested in the brand. So we bring in this world class expertise into this new brand that's maybe trying to figure it out or needs deep advice or very heavy hand holding in order to grow it, scale it profitably. Okay. Again, the idea is not to lose money, is to do it smartly in a profitable manner. So that's
I like
Fearless
this.
Capital. Um, yeah,
Well, I like this idea. I mean, it's definitely not a new idea. I do have a couple of other people in Denmark who's trying to do the same.
yeah,
By growing their own brand, they became like a pretty much like a farm for the smaller brands, and then they utilize the audience that they've built by monetizing them through the other products and stuff like that.
yeah,
So in the practical space, let's say, so if I'm a startup in the beauty industry, right, not exactly competing with Particle as a whole, but something else, I don't know, like could be different things. What will be the benchmark for me as a company to apply for this, or what probably like what criteria you guys have in your this capital business for the startups uh, to even be considerate to get the funding from you, and not even funding in one game. So I understand it's not just like on like whenever how it's called TV was the
Shark Tank.
Dragon Den, yeah, Shark Tank, right? So when they give you the money, right? So aside from money, you're also providing the expertise and your media team. So basically, eventually, your media team will run the campaign for this new product, right? So it's not just like, hey, here's my money, like whenever go and spend it the way how you want it. No, you guys control under your umbrella everything. So
Yeah,
the chance of success will be 10x more than just give money away. But again, if I want to grow, what the criteria for my startup or my brand should be? How many clients? How much traffic?
yeah.
Profitability? Whenever.
So first off, we have to have a unique product, right? In the consumer space, something that's that he at least has some kind of value proposition that doesn't exist in the market. Number two, I don't care. You can launch already. You don't have to launch. Um, you can have customers. You don't have to have customers. Um, and you can have great retail experience. But like if you're a master in online and you haven't made it, then there's nothing I can offer you. But if you have a business that you're about to launch or a consumer business that you've been working on, a consumer business that you launched, it's not working, it's not scaling because whatever, it's just the CAC is too high, the ROS is too low. Maybe it's been running for a while now and it's in decline. Um, but you feel like you need deep expertise in the media space, in the online space, in TV, in Google, Meta, and other platforms, and in funnel optimization and lowering the CAC. That's where we come in. That's our expertise. So you can be an early stage business, you can be a pre-launch business, you can be a mature business. It's all about where the pain point is, and we solve that pain point. So we're not going to go into a business that's generating 20-30 million dollars already. That's not our thing, because you're probably successful, and if you're not successful, then just scale down a bit and do your thing. But in the consumer space, when you're doing media, you have to have huge margins. If you're at a 40-50% margin on your cogs, it's too hard to do it profitably, because the media is so expensive. If your AOV is 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks, it's too low because of the media costs. So you need to have a very healthy AOV. You need to have a very healthy margin on the cogs, and needs to have wide appeal. It can't be too niche, because then it's not interesting. It's not scalable enough. Again, there's no like you have to have this and not this, but there's a certain level of minimums that we need in order to take a look. But if you have something interesting, you can just go to fearless-capital.com and just put in the information there, and our Wanya, who heads our arm of investments, she'll take a look at it and contact you and take a look at if it's something that could interest us.
In terms of location of those companies, are they supposed to be US or anywhere?
Well,
Yeah, okay.
Europe, US, right? I
Europe,
mean,
yes, okay.
the target market needs to be US, because that's the
Okay.
biggest consumer market, is the easiest
Yeah.
consumer market. Shipping, logistics, language, everything. But whether you're anywhere actually around the world, we're
Okay.
open. We're cool. Yeah.
Well, that's really good. I think I have a couple of in mind that I want to pass over. Not mine, but obviously. Okay, good. So just to try to wrap this up, if we look back, so what you said, Meta, it's the number one. It's a channel. If you cannot crack the Meta in the beauty space, any other channels probably you would not be able.
I think in the general consumer space, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then test anything, creativity, implement AI. That's you cannot be.
AI right now is a super buzzword, yeah.
Yeah, that's super.
But
Yeah,
use AI for creative. It just will make your life,
creative. Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah,
easier.
yeah. Then your ads might not be matching everyone mindset. Like they can go mad, they can go crazy, but you cannot really.
What do you have to lose, right?
Yeah, like you cannot let people to ignore that. So they still have to feel something about this.
Which means don't worry about your brand. Figure it out later. It will harm my brand. It's not on. It's off brand. Don't worry. The brand will come later.
That's good. So I feel, if you don't mind, like couple of feedbacks of working with Mage Cloud as a company. What
Sure.
I remember how we met. It was very brief project. It's like
Yeah.
it was like 16 hours, like 2 days, something like that we spent on the specific task, which became 5 years of relationship. What you like, if you don't mind, like what makes you stick with us for so long?
You, pal. No, I'm kidding. But uh, it's your team. Look.
I did not place any order, and I'm 44. So now I'm in your
Okay.
target base. So probably you
Okay.
want to have my money to pay. I should go ahead tonight and place an order. I promise I will do it.
I'll give you a discount.
I'm fine to pay
Um,
the full price.
so yeah, 5.5 years ago, we had a freelance developer. It was very junior, and as we grew, we needed more custom work and more hand holding. And I'm a product person, but I'm not a developer. We reached you guys through a cold search on the web. Like, do I know you're good? Do I know you're not good? I have no idea. Luckily, you guys delivered fast and efficiently, and we've been working with your team ever since, especially with Sergey since the beginning, who's been a top developer. And working with you guys is just we're never the cheapest, by the way, and it's a good thing. We get much more affordable prices, but you would have to sacrifice quality. So it's worth the price because you're getting top-notch service and professionalism. I can go to sleep. I'm not a developer again. I know that I'm in good hands. I know that I have my developers with you guys. I know that if there's a real emergency, I call up Paul in England and I need to wake him up. He's there for me. He'll hop on a call with our hosts. And we've had crises, multiple crises over the years. And Bodan and Sergey and you and the other team members are always on top of stuff. I can rely on you. And yeah, it just you lower my stress levels dramatically.
I love it.
I need it.
I should put this as a on all of it. Lower your stress level.
Yeah.
That's good
Use
stuff.
use Mage Cloud, live longer.
Use particle and be.
And Particle. Look better with Particle, live longer with Mage Cloud.
I love it. I love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy to have you here. It's been a while when I ask you for this type of talk, and I appreciate you being so open. I appreciate you to come and share the story. It's really inspiring. Like honestly, when I every single time when I talk to the brands, I'm always saying, "Hey, those guys, they just crack it all," because I've seen how you guys fly year over year, and that's absolutely fantastic. So I want to please next time on e-commerce camp UK when we have event in the UK next time, I want to see you in person as a speaker, and maybe
Sure.
next year we'll have a nice, beauty brand day or something like that, even online.
Yeah.
And I wanna bring you on the stage. So thanks for everyone who listening to this podcast till the end. Feel free to drop any comments and feel free to send the feedback. E-commerce scam Ko UK, subscribe to the newsletter. We're not making this super professional. It's just like by e-commerce people for e-commerce people. Come to our event September 26th in Manchester, 2025. And yeah, subscribe to the newsletter for our upcoming live talks, show, and other events. Thanks everyone who was watching. Ayal, appreciate you as
Thanks,
always.
Paul.
And I will go ahead and buy now my stuff.
Okay, Paul.
Take
Thank you.
care.